Mr. Kunle Adegoke joins us now. He's a member of the APC and a legal practitioner. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Quite a number of interesting and some dramatic scenes there. It's an enjoy party, and then someone had to remind me, no, that's not student, you know. That's the APC. What's going on? All that fracas.
Well, thank you very much. It's quite unfortunate that we have found ourselves in this situation. You all remember that on May 27, 2017, APC was supposed to hold its Congress for nominating candidates for the position of chairman in Lagos State in the various local governments. Unfortunately, when the event was to start, the presiding officer, Mr. Tokunbo Afikuyomi, started announcing names of certain persons, who had been.
Is part of the procedure?
So it was not, because what he was doing was just to impose those persons being whose names were being announced as the candidates for the party without any primary election whatsoever. So the people went on rampage and, they started destroying things. They attacked him personally. It was not a glorious event at all. So since then, APC had not been able to hold any convention to nominate its candidates for the position of chairman in any local government. And, the subsequent development was that, certain names had been submitted to LASIK, the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission. And the members are saying, look, you cannot do this. So protests started. They were agitated, and they kept on raising voices. On that basis, a number of them went to court, challenged the persons, they challenged LASIK and APC for imposing candidates on them.
Wait, so when did they go to court?
They've been in court for quite about a month now. So
but
I think
the elections are going on tomorrow.
The elections will be going on tomorrow. In fact, High Court of Lagos State, Justice Okuobi, nullified that of Odiolowo, because the Odiolowo, one of the aspirants in Odiolowo, challenged the imposition. He went to court, he challenged it, and the court upheld his position that there was no primary was held whatsoever. No candidate could have emerged. The person who came to join the case and who applied to join the case, saying that he was the winner of the primary, did not provide the result by which he won. He didn't provide any notice that would show that he actually participated in a validly organized primary. On that basis, the court nullified that purported primary election and now ordered.
Is that the only case in court, or is it for the whole?
Right now, I'm aware that there are more than 30 cases in the Lagos High Court, even up to 40.
To do with what?
With respect to this primary, non-holding of primary election. And
then you're still having the elections going on tomorrow?
Unfortunately, LASIK has decided to go on with the election tomorrow.
But that's not legal.
Well, it's unfortunate. The most annoying part of it, why we are disturbed, some of us, there are members of the party who are legal practitioners, is that, I have handled not less than about 50 to 60 cases on behalf of AC, ACN, APC. And I know in all these cases, when there was no primary election, candidates election, the winner's election, the winner who went through the general election, is a victory will be nullified by the court. Just about, I think yesterday, day before yesterday or yesterday, the Supreme Court nullified the election of our candidate in Kano, who had been in the, I think, House of Assembly in Kano, all these, since 2015. The Supreme Court nullified his election on the basis that, there was no valid primary organized by our party. So we are saying that, look, I've been in court. On so many occasions, the tribunal, the Court of Appeal, the Supreme Court will query, Mr. Adegoke, what are you talking about? Can't you see?
But your party has been accused repeatedly of imposition of candidates, even at the conventional level. How do you respond to that? Is that still happening?
It's quite clear that is happening now. That is why we are where we are now. That is why Dr. Moise Banere has been clamoring for a change in the attitude of many of our leaders, more so at the local and state level. Because what is happening now is you see that local government elections are supposed to be organized at the state by the state government, and if that should be the case, our leaders at the state level should just listen, should just follow the constitution of the party. The guidelines of the party, the constitution of the party, they require, in line with the last year law, in line with the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that every candidate must emerge through a validly organized primary election. Once there is a departure, we are just calling on the court to nullify the emergence of our candidates.
About the National Legal Advisor, Mr. Moise Banere, there were some protests. They accused him of anti-party activities because they say that of all people, he should know that the party's constitution allows for direct, indirect, and consensus primaries. Okay. So why is it making a mole or raising or crying wolf where there's none?
What Dr. Moise Banere is saying is that none of these has been followed.
None.
None has been adopted.
Not even the consensus primaries?
Not even the consensus. Because if you are saying consensus, it is simple English. And, I mean, you are speaking English, and you will know that between consensus and imposition, there is a wide world of difference. The implication is that if you are saying consensus, if we have 30 aspirants, all of them must agree that, okay, I hereby step down for you, you step down for him, all of us agree that, okay, we hereby produce this person, we support him as our candidate. That is consensus. But where somebody dissents, once there is rejection by somebody of that process, there's no consensus. Consensus means unanimity. That is, everybody agrees to this. But once there is somebody who says, no, I don't agree, that is why many people are in court. If they are saying that there is consensus, why are aspirants challenging the decision in court?
Where is this problem going to drag your party to?
It's unfortunate. Where we are going now is a situation where some of us that have always been handling, the only thing is that they may not patronize us to handle the cases for the party. But whoever the cases will be given to, it will cause a huge setback for us. If eventually after the election, people go to tribunal, they go to the court, and the victories of our candidates are being nullified, assuming we win. Because there is no automatic that we must win. Other parties may win. But the point is, even the electorates are looking at this, and they may not be satisfied with what we are doing. So that is why some of us are concerned. We are disturbed because of our experiences, not only as members of the party, but as legal practitioners. And you find a situation where somebody, okay, for instance, somebody called me just yesterday morning. He probably was among those who said Banere must go. He probably was among those who supported the clamor that Banere must go. He now called me yesterday morning. He said he would need legal advice, he would need legal support. I said, over what? He said that his name was on the list of candidates up until day before yesterday, until probably around 11 p.m. on Wednesday night. Then, before Thursday morning, his name disappeared on the list of candidates. So he said he wanted to go to court. I said, look, what are you saying? When some people were agitating that there shouldn't be imposition, you yourself, you are a product of imposition because you were imposed. There was no primary in his constituency. Another instance, somebody probably in Shomolu, somebody had been penciled down as the chairmanship aspirant, candidate for APC. Another person as vice chairman. Before yesterday morning, the vice chairman became chairman, the chairman aspirant became vice chairman. Somebody by abracadabra. So when was the consensus? When was it arrived at? That is the issue. So no consensus, no direct primary, no indirect primary. If they say indirect primary, there must be an electoral college that will handle the process, that will participate in the process. It will be open. They don't do it in secrecy. It is not a secret cult.
Can't you get a court order, for instance, when these names come out, and then just to protect the status of the names so that you don't have a reversal 24 hours or even just 2 hours overnight, for instance, before you come out and then you see something different?
You know, the courts don't operate like robots. You must file processes. You must file papers. You must approach the court. You must have complied with the requirements, with condition precedents. And it's part of our law in Lagos State that if I'm bringing an action against you, I must give you what we call pre-action protocol, by which I will give you what you have done that is wrong, what I am demanding, how we can settle it amicably. Now, if I approach the court and I say, okay, a number of cases are in court now. I understand that maybe there is one case being handled by one of our friends, I think Mr. Ogbara or so, who approached the High Court. I think about 2 days ago, the High Court felt that there couldn't have been an urgency because the aspirant, the person, the claimant was coming a little bit delayed. The event is challenging occurred in May. So now approaching the court maybe tail end of June and what have you, did not show that, okay, he was really conscious of his rights sufficiently. So the court said, look, I won't nullify, I won't stop the election. The election may go on. However, whatever comes out of it can still be reviewed by the court. So this is the review that we are running away from, because if the review turns out to be negative against our party, we will be losing seats. Let me give you a situation that would have been most unfortunate. I participated in the case of Agbaje against Ambode, the current governor of Lagos State. I participated at the level of the tribunal. I participated at the level, I took an appeal on behalf of APC to the Court of Appeal and even to the Supreme Court. What was I challenging? PDP challenged the victory of Governor Ambode on the basis that APC did not give 21 days notice to INEC of its convention, that we only gave 20 days notice. And that could be fatal, because looking at a precedent, a decision of the Court of Appeal, that could be fatal. So we have to fight it.
Does that still subsidy? Okay, sorry, go ahead.
We have to fight it. Saying that, look, you PDP member, you did not participate in the APC primary.
That was what I was
You couldn't have had a local standing to challenge. But a decision, Dangana and Usman, by the Court of Appeal, which was corroborated by the Supreme Court, had said that anybody could challenge the emergence of the winner.
Anybody?
Anybody could challenge it. So they now allowed in Dangana and Usman an Abga candidate to nullify the victory of a PDP candidate who won the election.
But I thought we saw something in Taraba.
Yes, no, I'm not coming to it. I'm not coming to what led to it.
Okay.
Now, there have now been about 2 or 3 decisions following that pattern. Onoge GSC, now CJN, propounded this fantastic position of the law. And we felt that, look, no, His Lordship could not have probably, the intention to effect electoral justice probably led His Lordship to come to that conclusion, that once you do not do primary validly, then it could be challenged by your opponents, even if your opponent is coming as an independent candidate. We don't know that in Nigeria. I'm just saying in the extreme, So we now said, look, this precedent will be dangerous, because the provision of the Electoral Act is that it is somebody who participated in the primary that could challenge it.
Which has to be of your party.
Exactly. So when the tribunal heard Agbaja and Ambode, the tribunal upheld the position that, in line with the earlier Supreme Court decisions, the PDP candidate could challenge Ambode's emergence on the basis of 21 days notice. However, certain conditions were supposed to have been complied with under the electoral law, which the candidate did not comply with. So technically we won the case. I now said, no, this position of the tribunal cannot be right. Insofar as I believe that the Supreme Court was not right on that score, I went to the Court of Appeal on behalf of APC. I now told the Court of Appeal that these decisions of the Supreme Court couldn't have been right. Don't follow them. Uphold the position that a PDP candidate cannot challenge the emergence or nomination of an APC candidate. So I did it at the Court of Appeal here in Lagos. The Court of Appeal was like, we are talking about judicial precedent, stare decisis. Any decision of the Supreme Court is binding on the Court of Appeal. They will not commit that sacrilege. His Lordship in that case said, we appreciate the invitation by counsel, Mr. Adegoke, but we hereby dishonor the enticing and exciting invitation, as we will not commit such sacrilege.